Hi, good evening and welcome to News Leader. I'm talking now to Roland Sassoon, who's Chief Executive at Sasfin, with their results. Hi, Roland.
Hello.
You say at the end of your commentary on your results, we have definitely cleaned up our act, which is an intriguing comment. So what was wrong with the act before, and what have you done to clean it up?
I think the management that we had in certain of the divisions wasn't really up to standard, and some of the staffing wasn't the right staff for the right positions. And I think that that's where we've really cleaned up our act.
Well, let's look at the numbers. 43 profit for the year, 114 million, 18% down. Headline earnings down 11%. You say headline earnings per share down by a bit more because of presumably dilution of shares. Yes. So what's behind that? I mean, it's still profitable, you're still delivering, but it's down.
Well, it's down mainly because of the poor performance of private and property equity. That area, the profits in that particular division went down to virtually nothing, which was a big disappointment. And that was the result of a couple of bad investments. And we've had to write down certain of those investments, and we've had to take some impairments.
You also imply from your commentary that it's time to get out of that area, or to have less weight in it. Isn't it just a one-off? It's an area that can recover?
I believe it is a one-off, but it doesn't really suit us as a bank, and certainly in the new world of banking with the new regulations. There's very high risk weighting to those assets, which impacts on the capital adequacy. But as you can see, the impact of a bad investment is very severe on our bottom line.
Was
results.
there a particular single investment?
There were a couple of unfortunate investments. But in the lending business, you've always got security to fall back on, whereas in private equity, a loss is a loss, and there's nothing you can do really to recover it. So we've taken the view that we should rather not have these assets on our balance sheet. They're better in managed funds, which we're involved in. So we've got a managed fund now in private equity, which is called Trinitas, where we're involved. We've got quite a big stake in that. And we are about to launch a managed fund in property equity, where we'll also have a stake in the management. And that's a healthier position for us to be in. We still believe we will have some proprietary investment in private equity in certain small deals where we have client relationships. So there is a place for it, but it's not a big place in Sasfin.
Let's look at what was a good story, the business banking area, your loan book from 1.96 billion up to 2.3 billion.
Yes, so we're very happy with our business banking. That is really core to Sasfin. And as you can see, there's good growth in that business. The profitability is fantastic. It was almost doubled its profit. The credit losses there are low. So we're very happy with that area, and we can see a lot of future for that business.
You've positioned yourselves as the entrepreneurs bank, people with good ideas, possibly some security come to you, and that's an area that you've said is yours. Is that working for you?
It is working for us. As you can see, our capital adequacy is high, our liquidity is high. We have appetite for this risk, and I think that that's where we perhaps differ from some of the bigger banks, who I think have got less appetite for the SME business. So we've now made an acquisition of iQuad. I don't know whether you saw that. And this will enable us to give a very comprehensive service to that particular market. What we call start-to-finish service, which enables us to be a partner beyond expectations. That's how we position ourselves. We are now able to provide commercial services, which I don't believe any other bank, well, I haven't come across any other bank in the world that provides that range of services.
Just tell us a bit more about iQuad. It is listed on the Altex. You've taken a 43% stake. How much money is that? And in terms of the scale of your operation now with this added to it, how does it change things?
Well, it just adds services. The cost of that 43% stake was just over 30 million. We will now have to extend an offer to the minorities. That will only come through once we get Reserve Bank approval and Competition Commission approval. We think we'll probably end up with 72%. So the arithmetic on that is just over 40 million rand for this investment. But as I say, it enables us now to provide services to the client right across the board. So a typical client of Sasfin is either an importer, an exporter, or a manufacturer, and their target market is exactly the same as Sasfin's. So between us, we can now offer the full range of commercial and financial services.
You're exposed to the demand for such loans, for such activity. What is it telling us, from your perspective, about the economy?
Look, the economy is obviously not very good at the moment, but I think we're getting bigger market share. I think that's really what's happening here. We provide an outstanding service, I believe, and we're getting the clients based on service.
Lower volumes in non-banking, you've talked about, the private equity and in equity and property investments. Wealth management division, you say you're doing things to that?
Yes, we've got new management there. We are now moving quite strongly into asset management, which we've only really toyed at in the past. So we see a big future for us in that. That should be a very lucrative area for us. We've employed a senior chief investment officer. We're able to provide a much better service to the client. We've got a stronger research department, and we have certain products that a lot of clients are now starting to buy. So we think that there's a huge place for us in asset management, not only for private clients, of which we have many in our stockbroking business, who perhaps would be better positioned in asset management, but also for our institutional clients, the pension funds and people like that.
You're also quite proud of your costs being controlled. In fact, they're down. I think
Yes.
3% was a number year on year that you mentioned. Also, from what you suggest, there have been some people issues around different managers. So
Yes.
you've had a bit of a tough time there cutting back on people.
Well, we have. We've, as I say, we've got rid of we've got, I think, the wrong people off the bus, and I think we've got the right people now on the bus. We're very happy with we've got a new head in our business banking area who's doing a superb job, as you can see from the results. And overall, we're happy with the management team.
What are the prospects for the next year?
I think the prospects are good.
Is the economy and the business activity that you're looking at, is it, I mean, the general view seems to be slow improvement, slow,
Yes.
steady recovery. Is that your view?
Yeah, that is our view, yeah. I think it's the view in South Africa is that it's a slow recovery, whereas in Europe and America there's the possibility of a double dip. But we don't think that's going to happen here.
That is Roland Sassoon, who's Chief Executive at Sasfin. And if you'd like to watch this again, you can do so on summit.co.za, also on Financial Mail's website.